What's poppin', everybody? It's a Saber94 on the TCG Players channel. Gonna show you guys my Lindor Babe, nobody's gonna know this reference, Charlotte Pudding deck, purple yellow leader, used it quite a bit recently, and I'm gonna move on to a new deck, so show you guys this before I forget. I like simple leaders like this, just simple decks, but she could have been better. Purple yellow leader, and because she's a big mom pirates, the main appeal to have her and pretty much use her is to be able to use the 10 cost big mom. This character is still an extremely strong boss character, 10 for 12k, you know, pretty good. And then the on play, just the direct trash on your opponent's life, and you gain a life as well with no like additional drawbacks or conditions, is excellent. I mean, especially when you compare this to the purple Lilin. I mean, I know that you can use that in any deck, but it's just a night and day difference of effectiveness. Okay, so that's, I guess, the main benefit of using Pudding. But besides that, we don't really get much. I mean, the purple yellow leader combination, there's other leaders that do that, like Robin, and her effect, like her leader effect, isn't so amazing either, but at least you get something that's a constant something with the banish. The problem with Charlotte is that her leader effect, you're only going to get it once, maybe twice, depending if your opponent messes with your life before you get into the 10 down range. If they mess with your life, then maybe you can attack with her again, turn 2 life cards face up, and then you get an additional dawn. But most of the time, you're just going to get 1 free dawn out of her rested, and that's it. When attacking, turn the 2 life cards from face down to face up, get arrested dawn. That's all she does. You know, compare this to Julie Bonnie or Shanks, or other leaders where they got a broken effect all the time from the start of the game till the end. You know, the difference is obvious. But anyway, this is our leader, and the purple-yellow combination does give us the perk of having this Mr. 2 Bond Clay. This is your, I always forget the card's name from Duel Masters, but that, like Nature Civilization dude where you play him and you get a free mana from your deck. You can treat this as a similar thing. You get a free active Dawn, so help us get into the 10 Dawn range quickly, so that's good. And this is an annoying card if your opponent doesn't get rid of it, because if they play big characters, then you can copy their attack, and that's pretty broken. Most of the time, your opponent just will always find a way or make sure they get rid of this guy quick, because he can be a problem. But it's a really good card. Get that free Dawn, and he's a counter in hand as well, so if we don't want to play him mid to late game, if we see that we can't get value out of him, then you can always discard him too, so it's pretty good. Max him out 100%. I mean, in real life, I don't got a single copy of this card, but for the best deck, best results, if you're going to try to be competitive, then you got to run this card 100% in 4. Then we got Charlotte Katakuri, kind of similar. This is meant to be used with Pudding from OP8. On play, if you flip the top card of your life face down, and then you get an active Dawn. So it's almost like you get a free Dawn, and that's it. And you also get basically you get it active. You don't just like get a Dawn arrested, so you get like a little attack bonus. You get a new Dawn, so it's pretty good. Help us once again get into the 10 Dawn range. So the idea is you get a free Dawn with her, and then you get one with him, or maybe Katakuri. You're gonna get into the 10 range quicker than your opponent. So then you can start playing the big moms and days. Everything else fails, he's a counter in hand, little decent beater, so run him. Then we got Daifuku. This is just a 2k counter. You don't really want to summon him, but I guess in a really awkward, desperate time, maybe he's good. These new like 2k counters they're bringing out now that are just vanillas with a decent high attack, they're pretty good compared to running other 2ks like her, where you just run her as a 2k, but if you summon her, you don't really get much. Or Amanda here. I mean, they've got effects, but you pretty much have them for the 2k. So this guy and the other vanillas they're bringing out now with the 2Ks, maybe you can summon them. They can be beaters in an awkward time. So max this guy out. I got this one Lin Lin from OP11. This is another boss character that is a Big Mom Pirates too, so it's going to be a searchable card. That's important. Her main effect of, boosting our stats by getting rid of dawns and guessing what your opponent's card is. I can't do it. This is meant to be used with the purple katakuri where you see your opponent's cards. But I mean, I have guessed it once and got lucky, but I still lost the game. But I just have her as a rush, another boss character. I mean, if you want to put like another ace or something else, you can. But I just have her. It's a big beater at the end of the day. Okay, I mean, we can't have the fifth big bitch here. I got Flampe, just a 2K counter. I mean, if you want to run other stuff like the Brûlée from the starter deck and other shit, you can. There's a bunch of different 2K counters for yellow Big Mom. They got a lot of them. So use whatever you like. The 4 Puddings Searcher, and actually has an attack that we can use. The purple Searcher Pudding, she has more limitations, plus she has 0 attack, so I'm not fond of her. So I'd rather have this. And then we got Shirohoshi too. This is technically better in almost every regard compared to Galette here, but the problem is it's not a Big Mom character, so I do need to have enough Big Mom characters so that my searches aren't dead. Same for Perospero. I mean, it sucks ass if you play this or this guy dies and then you can't search anything. It really sucks. So I do 1. I got 1 in real life anyway, so do 1. And then do 3 of the Galette because she's a Big Mom character. Pretty much just a little bit of cheap defense with these blockers. In the early game, summon them. Because this leader is pretty fragile. You got to make sure you get into the late game and you're healthy enough so you can get the beaters down and they can put in work before you get killed. If you summon this Big Mom or this Big Mom and then you do something but then you're going to get killed next turn anyway, you can't really survive, then it doesn't really make much difference. Which is why this leader is pretty bad against red decks and a lot of rush decks. You have trouble. But you're kind of better against more passive decks because they give you the time to set up your good shit. Now, that's what I believe. Anyway, so in the beginning we want to block attacks for sure against the cheap dudes. And these characters help too, blockers. Then we got Perospero. I just have 3 instead of 4 because sometimes he can't be kind of dead and he doesn't have a counter in hand. Plus, I got a lot of stuff here that's not Big Mom, so maybe we're going to miss a search. So a couple of them are good. He technically is a good card, being the Sangan, but a lot of times your opponent's going to play around him. If it was on play, it would have been better. I mean, you got some advantage, I guess, against Blackbeard. If they kill him, you get the search, even if they use the leader's effect. Anyway, but I'm doing 3. It should still be good enough numbers. His stats are good for 3, the effect is good. The trigger can be handy too. If your opponent triggers it and then they don't go for game, then pretty much they help you go for game. So in situations like that where you can sort of mini rush, is a good card. And then I got Capone Beji. So this card, I think a lot of people just don't favor it as much because there's so much different variety of all the different 2Ks and all the different trigger cards and text you can use, but I still think it's a good card. If your opponent hits it, I mean, sometimes you're going to ride your luck with this deck. It's just going to come down to you getting lucky with a lot of triggers. That's the only other benefit in using a deck like this. And us getting lucky, it's going to be the difference maker to win or lose a game. I mean, it's kind of shitty. You can say there's no skill into it, but that's pudding. That's yellow for you. So I max it out. If your opponent hits it at the wrong time, it could be the difference between winning or losing the game. So it's nice. I mean, it conflicts a little bit with pudding in the sense that if you reveal it and your opponent sees it, they're going to play around it. If they know, okay, that's the next life I'm going to hit. but I still want to have it around. It's a 2k counter at the end of the day. Then we got 3 Amans. I never summon her to use the effect, but I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to read it. If you want to use it, want to use a different 2k, it's just a 2k. Then I got Brûlé, definitely an important card. Blocker, trigger, Big Mom, gotta have it, 100%. And then one of my new favorites, this Baby 5 from the latest set. I had the deck a little bit differently, of course, before OP12 came out on the sim, but now I include in this card. I showed it in a couple of matches too. It's just great. It's a 2k counter. It's an excellent trigger of draw 2. Much needed effect. You know, +1 pluses for a deck like this that doesn't really gain card advantage. And a lot of the times it might be enough to just save you or just scare your opponent into thinking, man, can I actually go for game? This guy just draw 2 cards now. What does he have? It's pretty good. Love it. So once again, the drawback is it's not a Big Mom character. So, you know, dropping a lot of the Big Mom 2Ks for this will cause consistency problems, maybe with Pudding and this guy especially, but it's too good to pass up. I gotta have it. Then I got one of the Getetsu, one of our ways, I guess, to get some free pop card advantage that way, destroy an opponent's card. He's a counter in hand too, so he's decent. I don't want to run too many, because depending on how your opponent life is, then it's gonna be shit. But in the early to mid game, it could be a pretty good drop. Put some pressure, kill something. So I got 1 copy and I think that's fine. Then I got this Bartholomew Kuma, which from what I guess is an expensive card in real life. He's pretty good, but not mega broken, I guess, because your opponent can play around it. Now, I guess if they can't, then it's going to be great. But basically, you get a life with the on play. You got to trash a card from your hand, but you get a life, so it's almost like you get a life from the hand. So it's decent enough. And then if he gets killed on your opponent's turn, got to keep that in mind, then you basically get another free life. So it's great. He's a counter in hand too for 1,000 at least. So it's nice. The stats are, you know, standard for the 6,000-7,000 counter in hand. One Piece, they do this more now recently. Instead of just having these boss characters have no counter in hand and maybe cost 5 to summon him, they just do like a better cost or lower attack, and then him being 1,000 too. So just got 1 in as another mid to late boss character. He's good, but we still gotta favor more of the Lin Lin. This is Big Mom character, big body. Either you get a free life or your opponent trashes a life, so it's gonna hurt either way. I mean, the only problem with this card is that if your opponent is at 0 life and you summon it, then they're always going to choose to lose a life, and basically you get no effect. But most of the time, you're not going to get into this position. You're just going to summon her and gain some kind of benefit. So it's a great card still. Very sparse in terms of prints though. You only got this from the starter deck, and I think some kind of a championship promo that's very expensive. They got to reprint it. I guess it'll rotate though too, but yeah, it's a shame. Missed out on the original starter deck too. Anyway, I've already mentioned Big Mom, you gotta have 4 of her, 100%. You wanna see this. As soon as you hit 10, this is the card you wanna see. Like whether you get it from the life, you're gonna be happy to summon it. Whether you gotta search it with Pudding, you gotta make sure you see at least 1 or 2 copies in a game, or you won't really get far. It's your main form of big advantage, you could say. And I got the Ace still, so another good 10 option. If you're low in life, you get the bonus of Rush as well. If not, you get a free life, so it's a good card still. So I got it. And then I only got 1 event, Damned Punk. Electromagnetic cannon in English is different, I think. But this is just a little removal event, sometimes it'll come in handy. Just kill something, check out my opponent's life too. And then it has a trigger, gonna let me draw and discard one, so help us regulate our hand. If we got a bunch of stuff that has no counters and we don't really want them, we want to draw some defense, it could help. So I got this in 2 as a removal event. And this is the put in deck, guys. That's how I'm running it. I'm sure other people run it differently, but I just like to keep things simple. Got a bunch of boss characters. Try and get into the 10 Dawn range as soon as possible. Make sure we got a lot of triggers and just sort of get lucky, cheese our way into effects. And yeah, I mean, how many triggers do we got? 1, 5, 9, 14, or 13, 16, 16, that's all I got. Maybe I counted them wrong. But we got a decent amount still, I want to say. I'm not forgetting anything, am I? Yeah, 3, 7, 11, 15, 16. Yeah, I mean, this guy, I had a Seraphim Boa Hancock as his snake in his place before. She was a counter too. But yeah, we're good with the counters regardless. Okay, so that's the deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sub to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Where